Welcome to this deep dive, tailored specifically for you, the learner. We've been looking into something pretty fundamental, haven't we?
We really have. It's about how our bodies, our minds, how they seem to hold on to things.
Yeah, like unspoken emotions or situations that just feel unfinished.
Exactly. And how they can actually shape our well-being, sometimes in ways we don't even realize.
Think of it as trying to understand the hidden language of your own being, why that nagging feeling might be more than just, everyday stress.
So our mission today really is to unpack this whole concept of incomplete experiences or unfinished gestalts. You might hear them called, and explore what they could be telling you.
Okay, so where does it usually begin? That feeling.
It often starts really subtly, just a feeling that something's a bit off.
Right. No clear cause, just
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, like a low hum of unease maybe, or that familiar knot in your stomach that just seems to appear.
Or that heaviness in your shoulders.
Precisely. And these sensations, as we've sort of been digging into, they can be like whispers from your body.
Whispers. I like that.
Yeah, drawing your attention to something deep or something that perhaps needs a bit of acknowledgement.
Okay, let's get more specific about these incomplete experiences. What are we really talking about?
Well, picture a conversation. You had something important you wanted to say, right? A feeling you needed to express, but maybe the moment passed or you held back. The words stayed inside.
Or like a situation that felt totally unresolved, like a chapter that never really got its ending.
That's exactly it. Those fragments of life that just feel like they're still hanging there, yearning for closure, maybe.
So think about times you chose silence. Maybe to keep the peace?
Oh, definitely. We all do it. You feel that impulse, maybe with a partner or your parents or even a friend.
Yeah, you want to say the thing.
But then you bite your tongue. You decide against it. And initially, yeah, that silence can feel like relief, can't it?
Sure, like you dodged a bullet, avoided a difficult moment.
But what we're finding is those unexpressed words, they don't just vanish into thin air.
No.
No. They can sort of settle inside you, manifesting as actual physical tension.
Like a clenched jaw.
Yeah, or tightness across your chest, shoulders hiked up, or even just that kind of draining fatigue that seems to come from nowhere.
It's like the body is literally holding the energy of what wasn't said.
It really seems that way.
Okay, so how do we even begin to notice this stuff?
Well, it really starts with tuning in, just bringing some awareness inward.
Okay, like a little check-in.
Exactly. Maybe, if listeners feel comfortable, just take a moment. Close your eyes if you like. Take a slow, deep breath.
And just notice.
Just notice.
Yes.
What sensations are present right now? Maybe in your chest, your stomach,
Yeah.
your hands even.
And the point is that these aren't just random.
Right. They could be little messengers, communicating something important about your inner state, your inner world.
We came across a really compelling example of this, didn't we?
We did. Think about someone struggling with chronic headaches.
Okay.
And this person, they tended to keep things to themselves. Didn't talk much about feelings or personal stuff.
Right. And there was a pattern.
A noticeable physical pattern. Whenever a conversation got close to something vulnerable, there'd be this subtle shift, a drawing inward, a change in posture.
Wow.
And what really started to unlock things was a surprisingly simple question. Just asking, what are you holding on to?
Just like that.
Just like that. It was like giving permission. Suddenly, these buried memories started surfacing feelings of being unseen, unheard.
And the headaches.
As these things were shared, acknowledged, the physical tension, including those headaches, actually began to ease.
That really shows the connection, how tightly suppressed emotions and physical symptoms can be linked.
It absolutely does.
So why? Why do we hold back so often? Why push things down?
Well, there's this useful idea from Gestalt thinking, figure, and ground. Imagine you're looking at a painting.
Okay.
Your attention naturally goes to the main subject, right? The figure. That's what feels clear, familiar, maybe safe.
And the background.
The background, all the other stuff, they can represent the uncomfortable feelings, the difficult truths we tend to push away. We focus on what feels secure.
And relegate the tricky stuff to the ground.
Exactly. We push it out of our immediate awareness.
Because speaking that truth, bringing those background feelings forward, it feels risky.
It can feel really risky. It disrupts that familiar picture. There's fear involved, fear of rejection, fear of judgment.
Fear of conflict.
Definitely fear of conflict. So we try to keep those uncomfortable bits in the background, hoping they'll just stay quiet.
But they don't always stay quiet, do they?
No, they don't. That background still exerts an influence, maybe subtly at first, but it's there. And sometimes It pushes its way back into the foreground in unexpected ways.
Like the pressure cooker metaphor.
That's a great way to think about it.
Yeah.
Every emotion we swallow, every difficult truth we don't voice, it adds to the internal pressure.
You keep the lid on tight.
For a while, yeah. But eventually, that pressure builds and builds, and it has to go somewhere.
Leading to maybe an outburst you didn't expect.
Or an emotional breakdown, feeling completely overwhelmed. Or even, as we've seen, contributing to physical illness.
So instead of clamping down the lid,
The invitation is really to stay present with whatever's arising inside you, to try not to immediately push it away.
cultivate curiosity.
Gentle curiosity, yeah. Ask yourself, okay, what am I actually feeling right now? Where is this showing up in my body?
What might it be trying to tell me?
Exactly, without judgment, just open attention.
Because when you start doing that, you begin noticing patterns.
You really do.
Yeah.
You might see how certain situations always seem to trust the same reaction, or how specific people evoke these familiar feelings in you.
And these patterns often link back.
Often, yeah. They have roots in past experiences. Times when speaking up or just being fully yourself felt unsafe somehow.
It's like the body develops its own language.
It really does. Your mind might be great at reasoning things away or suppressing them, but your body, it operates more directly. It responds to what feels real, not just what's convenient or socially acceptable.
So the physical symptoms become signals. Little flags.
Little flags saying, hey, pay attention. Something here needs looking at, especially if the mind has been trying to ignore it.
Okay, think about anxiety. That racing heart, shallow breathing.
Instead of just seeing it as, an imbalance or something wrong,
Yeah.
think of it perhaps as energy. Energy that wants to move, that wants to act or go forward, but it feels stuck, blocked somehow.
That's a different way to frame it.
It can change how you relate to the feeling. And chronic pain, too, often so complex and frustrating.
It can hold layers of meaning.
Potentially, yes. It might be connected to, say, suppressed anger, or maybe unmet needs for care, for recognition, even underlying feelings of unworthiness.
So the idea is to try and tune in.
Gently tune in. Listen to your body's wisdom. See if you can decipher any messages. A persistent backache, could that metaphorically represent feeling burdened?
Right. Or chest tightness maybe relating to grief.
Or numbness in a limb feeling like disconnection. These aren't definitive diagnoses, of course, but ways to explore the potential meaning.
So awareness is the first step. Recognizing the whispers, the signals.
Crucial first step, but not the end of the story.
What's next?
Finding ways to give voice to what's been silenced.
Which sounds potentially big and scary.
It can feel that way, but it doesn't have to be a huge confrontation. Sometimes it starts very small. Like simply acknowledging the feeling to yourself. Just saying, okay, I feel angry or I feel sad. Whispering the words inside.
Or writing it down.
Writing can be incredibly powerful. Or maybe speaking it aloud when you're alone. Or eventually sharing it with someone you really, truly trust.
And there's this paradox you mentioned.
Yes. It's fascinating. Holding back often reinforces isolation. That feeling of being alone with your experience.
But expressing your truth.
Even just acknowledging it internally actually fosters connection first, a deeper connection with yourself.
And potentially with others too.
Often, yes. It might feel counterintuitive, worrying about how people will react, but so often, people crave authenticity. They appreciate seeing the real you, vulnerabilities and all.
Which leads to some really potent reflection questions.
Definitely, like asking yourself, what am I carrying right now that just doesn't belong anymore, that doesn't serve me?
What old stories or beliefs might be weighing me down?
What emotions haven't I fully acknowledged? And then, what might it feel like to finally let them go?
It's not about achieving perfection, though, is it?
Not at all. Healing in this context isn't about eliminating discomfort or becoming flawless. It's more about embracing wholeness.
Accepting all the parts.
All the parts. The light and the shadow, the joy and the sorrow, the strengths and the vulnerabilities. Giving yourself permission to just be without apology.
We talked about this natural cycle of experience.
Right, the flow. You sense something, you become aware, you feel an urge to act, you take the action, and there's a sense of completion or satisfaction.
Like finishing a sentence or a melody or resolving.
Exactly. But when we interrupt that cycle, hold back, suppress the feeling, stop the action, that's when we create these unfinished gestalts, these incomplete experiences.
Like the conversation cut short.
Or the melody that just hangs, unresolved.
And when this happens repeatedly.
Well, these interruptions, these times we override our inner impulse, they don't just disappear. They accumulate.
Like layers.
Yeah, layers of these unfinished fragments, creating this underlying tension that can then unconsciously influence our thoughts, our behaviors, how we relate to others.
And avoidance is a really common way we interrupt that cycle.
Hugely common. It
Yeah.
seems logical, right? If saying something feels difficult, just avoid it.
Short-term relief.
Exactly. You avoid the potential conflict, the discomfort, but the cost. Often that avoidance leads to something worse down the line, like resentment quietly building up.
And it's not just avoiding external stuff, is it?
No, often we're also avoiding our own internal experience. We're afraid of the intensity of our own feelings.
Afraid of losing control.
Or hurting someone. Or maybe afraid of facing uncomfortable truths about ourselves if we really let ourselves feel something.
But the cost of always avoiding.
It's significant. You miss chances for growth, for deeper connection. You forfeit the possibility of real transformation.
And this links back to the body again. The body remembers.
It really does seem to. These unresolved experiences aren't just mental constructs. They can get stored physiologically.
As tension. Pain.
As muscle tension, chronic pain patterns, maybe even contributing to illness over time. The body becomes this archive.
So symptoms aren't just problems to fix.
They can be seen as entry points, invitations to explore what deeper experiences might be held there.
So chronic neck stiffness, maybe feeling burdened.
Or recurring back pain that
You're
relate to
right.
guilt or feeling unsupported, chronic fatigue, maybe running on empty emotionally.
Again, not diagnoses, but possibilities for exploration.
Exactly. Ways to connect the physical sensation back to the lived experience.
And the body scan technique can help with this.
It's a great starting point. Really simple, just bringing mindful attention part by part through your body.
Feet, legs, abdomen.
Chest, shoulders, head, just noticing what's there. Tightness, warmth, coolness, tingling, numbness, no judgment, just noticing.
And exploring if those sensations have anything to say.
Gently exploring. What's this tightness about? When did it start?
And as you practice this, you might notice recurring cues.
You might. That jaw tension before a presentation, the stomach knot around a certain person, these become valuable clues.
Pointing to underlying dynamics, unfinished business.
Potentially, yes. Clues about where energy might be getting stuck.
Now, another way we get stuck is projection. What's that about?
Projection is basically when we take our own unacknowledged stuff, feelings, desires, judgments we're not comfortable owning, and we kind of plaster them onto someone else.
So we see it in them instead of in us.
Exactly. Like maybe you're really irritated by a friend who seems overly confident or talks a lot. Underneath that irritation, if you look closely, might be your own unacknowledged longing for that kind of confidence, or maybe envy.
Wow. So the irritation isn't really about them.
Not entirely. It distorts how you see them, sure.
Yeah.
But more importantly, it keeps you from seeing yourself clearly. It prevents self-awareness.
So the work is to turn the mirror inward.
Yes. When you have a strong reaction to someone positive or negative, ask, what am I seeing here that might actually belong to me? What part of myself is being reflected back?
It's courage.
It takes courage and humility, absolutely.
Yeah.
But reclaiming those projections, owning your own experience, it's incredibly liberating.
So much of this comes down to attention, doesn't it?
Attention is really the key tool here. Mindful presence. Bringing conscious awareness to what's happening inside and out right now.
Moving from autopilot.
To consciously engaging. Noticing the thoughts, feeling the feelings, sensing the body.
And that attention gives you back some control.
It gives you back agency. You start noticing the patterns, you become aware of the choices you're actually making moment by moment. You can respond instead of just reacting based on old habits.
It takes practice, though.
Oh, definitely. Patience and practice. It's not a quick fix, but the rewards are profound.
A stronger capacity to be present. Deeper connections.
Yes, exactly. Being more fully present in your own life and fostering that real intimacy, first with yourself, then with others.
So circling back, when that ache, that discomfort arises.
The invitation is to pause. Resist that immediate urge to push it away or distract yourself.
And ask those questions again.
Yes. What am I holding on to here? What story is running in the background? Is there a need I'm neglecting? And approach it gently. With curiosity.
Not judgment.
No. Kindness and curiosity.
Because the goal isn't to be perfect or fixed.
No, it's about embracing the whole picture. The totality of your experience. Light, shadow, joy, sorrow, spoken, unspoken.
And giving all those parts a voice, allowing them to exist.
Exactly, giving them permission to be here.
There often comes a point, right, where the silence becomes harder than speaking.
Yes, that turning point. When the discomfort of holding it all in, the weight of the silence, finally feels heavier than the fear of actually expressing it.
And that act of giving voice.
However you do it internally, externally, creatively, it's inherently transformative. It's you reclaiming your energy, your power.
Can you think back, maybe listeners can too, a time you said something really difficult, something you'd held back for ages? Remember that feeling afterwards, maybe relief, a sense of lightness.
Yes, that's it. That's the feeling of closing the loop, releasing that stagnant energy, finding flow again.
And it doesn't have to be some huge dramatic confession.
Not at all. Transformation often happens in these small, intentional steps of awareness.
So the steps were acknowledgement first.
Just noticing, okay, this feeling is here, this matters. Simple validation.
Then exploration.
Gently asking those curious questions. Where is it? What's it connected to? What does it need? Without judgment.
Then expression.
Giving it voice. Internally journaling, talking to yourself, or externally sharing, maybe visualization, or creatively drawing, movement, metaphor, whatever helps bypass the usual defenses.
And focusing on flow, not necessarily neat endings.
Exactly. It's about allowing the energy to move, not forcing a perfect resolution. Completion isn't always tidy.
And this work isn't just for ourselves, is it? There's a ripple effect.
Absolutely. When you start addressing your own unfinished business, tending to your inner world, it creates positive shifts.
In relationships?
In relationships, families, even workplaces, your own healing can subtly give others permission to look at their own stuff. It fosters more authenticity all around.
Like that story about the strained mother relationship.
Yes. The client who processed years of resentment by writing a letter they never actually sent. But the internal process of writing it, of acknowledging those feelings, shifted something profound. The next phone call with their mother was completely different, more open, more connected.
So the healing isn't just solitary, it can mend connections.
It absolutely can. It shows how interconnected we are.
It's also okay if this exploration brings up more questions, right?
Oh, completely okay. In fact, it's often part of the process. Sometimes deeper exploration reveals more complexity, more mystery. And that's okay. It can even be beautiful.
We don't have to untangle everything perfectly.
No. The roots of our pain, our patterns, they're often tangled. The goal isn't necessarily complete untangling, but being present with the complexity, sitting with the ambiguity sometimes.
Letting go of the pressure to figure it all out.
Yes, trusting the journey toward integration, even when it feels messy or unclear.
And maybe reframing pain, not just as brokenness.
Right, but also as a sign of aliveness, of sensitivity, depth, a sign that you feel deeply. And that capacity for feeling, even pain, is also the source of strength, compassion, and wisdom.
So this is really an ongoing invitation.
It is an invitation to keep listening to yourself, to trust that your voice, your truth matters profoundly for your own healing, transformation, and connection.
And no deadlines, no checklists.
None at all. Healing unfolds in its own time, in its own way. Your only job is to show up for yourself, keep listening, stay curious.
Keep asking those questions.
What am I holding on to? What wants to be expressed? What would happen if I dared to trust myself just a little more?
And remembering you're not alone in this.
Never alone. This is part of the shared human experience. Everyone carries unfinished business. Everyone navigates this terrain.
So trust the process.
Trust the process. Breathe. Pause. Listen. Trust that the next step will reveal itself when it's time. The act of paying attention, truly paying attention, that itself is enough to begin and enough to continue.
That feels like a really important place to pause for today. That brings us to the end of this deep dive, The Learner.
We really hope this exploration into, well, the power of acknowledging what often goes unspoken has given you some valuable insights.
Yeah, maybe sparked a new way of listening to those subtle messages from within yourself.
Remember, this journey of self-understanding, it's ongoing. It doesn't really have an end point.
And even the smallest act, just bringing a little awareness to something that feels off, that can be a truly significant step.
So we really encourage you to keep exploring these ideas. Keep noticing those whispers within.
What resonated most with you today? What questions are maybe still lingering or just starting to form?
Consider this just the beginning, or maybe a continuation of a deeper, richer conversation with yourself.